What about making your sound better?
Okay, guys, how we doing today? Been not a long time, I guess, but at least the YouTube chat is. Um, Let me talk about some stuff real quick. All right, so I'm gonna be, just so you guys understand, like I just did, I'm gonna be muting my mic. Yeah, my voice is completely gone. Well, actually, no. Yesterday it was completely gone. Today it's actually I can actually speak, but when I speak, I feel a tickle in my throat, so I have to cough, and I have a drink that's like carbonated next to me, so that it somewhat relaxes it, and I'm not like freaking out. But I'm gonna be muting my mic every so often to cough because it's like I have to. But so today's giveaway, which we are doing a Facebook and a YouTube stream, so you can go over to Facebook and and share the stream, and then you'll be able to enter in for a chance to win future house HELION today. You can get it for £19.90, and the launch discount ends on in 4 days and 2 hours. I don't know why I thought it was 0402. That's a long time. So I guess a couple things I want to talk about. I'm not going to be able to load up Facebook's stream because it's just not like we're streaming there, but I can't, like always. I always like to make sure that I'm mentioning in the stream that I can't load up the chat because it just doesn't let me. I feel like I didn't even mute my mic when I coughed just then, and I unmuted it when I muted it when I wanted to talk. But okay, anyway, I'm looking up chat just to see who said what's up. Hey Violet, how we doing? Shut start, what's up? JA, what's up? Arca, what's up? Lab, what's up? Lad actually put his full name in his name now. Midix, laid back. Tyler, so much respect for you still going through with this dough. Hope you feel better. Yeah. So do I. Yeah. People that I've seen before. JP. My New Year's was honestly just me staying at home. I know Roman was out of town, but I stayed home most of the time because again I couldn't speak, so there was really nowhere I could go to get anything from anything, so I just stayed home. What's up, Troller? I'm gonna say Truler. Oh. Alright, so first one is Shut Start. And I'm actually gonna mute my mic while I'm playing songs just so I could cough freely. If that makes sense? Okay, cool. Okay, so shut start so far. Let me see. Also, there'll be a lot of sniffling, just so you know. So, shut start. The only thing that I hear, or one of the things that I hear that's yelling out to me, is primarily adding more elements to your drop, because I feel like you have the kick there, and the kick is coming through, but I feel like it could be a little bit more punchy as well, so maybe some more post-processing on that, and then maybe some chords. I think you already have some in there, but like more like sawtooth and beefier, and something that's more in your face. Not necessarily aggressive, but just prominent. I feel like can you not? All right. That's gonna be blinking at you. I don't know why. Can you stop doing this? What is this? What is happening here? Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, so far the mastering and mixing isn't bad at all. But I feel like it's just the only thing I've noticed so far is lack of element. That is like I guess a focal point and a driver throughout the entire drop. So I feel like this entire chorus here should have something that's, I mean, you have the lead, and the lead is good, but maybe layer that lead like I showed, I think, not last stream. Wait, what might have been last stream? Yeah, it was, because it was the day before, it was Christmas Eve. So, like I showed last stream when I showed my project, and I showed how I had like 2 layers, maybe, it was like 2 or 3, I think it was 2. 2 layers of chords with a lead over it. And it has a really big effect, like it fills out everything, and then it has the high register covered with the lead, and it helps with, you know, making sure everything is filled, like all the spectrum is filled with elements. That way our ears are full, and we had a satisfaction there. So I feel like just add a little bit more sawtooth chords that aren't necessarily really aggressive, but are really thick and that stand out, and it'll be dope. I really hope I'm muting my mic when I cough, because if I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, but I can't. Like, my pop filter is like, I can't see the button fully, so. And like, it doesn't really press. It like, I mean, it presses, but it's not like a distinct press. It's like just a little click, and you don't even know if it's pressed or not. Anyway, shut start. Thank you for sitting over the track, man. Head over to Facebook. Share this stream like every week for a chance to win. Who are you? For a chance to win Future House HELION today. For free. It's a giveaway. We haven't had a giveaway. Last week we didn't have one. But this week we do. Alright, valid. Honestly, I really have no complaints. I think there's... Maybe some widening, like stereo imaging or stereo enhancing, so some of the elements are a little wider than they usually are, or like that they're default as. And I feel like you can do that either in a plugin or you can get a stereo enhancer. Like if you use FL Studio, they have actually literally a stereo enhancer, I think, inside FL Studio, if I'm not wrong. But stereo enhancing anything really, you can either, there's a free plugin that I use, I forget what it's called, but really just it takes whatever element you're focusing on. Chords are naturally a little wider anyway, or anything in the mid range is usually a little wider anyway. But I feel like with this, one of these leads that's stacked, you could widen one of them and give a really cool wide effect, even though it may not even be that wide of a instrument or wide of a preset. Let's see how your kick and everything else stand out really well, so I'm happy with that. The sidechaining right there, this is just a personal preference. I've never really been, when there's no drums playing, I've never really been a fan of keeping the sidechaining going. And I think I kind of showed you guys last week, I don't know, Valid, if you were here in my project, what I did when I do sidechaining is it's usually just a sample trigger. So everything is linked to a plugin, and that plugin has a sample in it. And basically whenever that sample hits is a trigger, so whenever that sample hits, it's going to be sidechained. And you can adjust how much is going to be sidechained and such and such. I feel like if there is no drums playing, there shouldn't be a sidechaining playing. It's just how my brain works. And I always find it as a flaw in a song if I hear it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and if you want to do it, do it. But I'm just saying in my head, I always pinpoint it as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, so don't think that it is. But my brain always goes to that shouldn't be there. Keep it there if you want to keep it there. But my personal preference, I wouldn't have put it there, just because I feel like it's just I don't know what it is about it. I really don't know what it is about it. It just hits me. I don't know. Other than that, like you really filled out this area with these hi-hats, and I don't know if it's like an effect that's actually rising in pitch here, or if it's the hi-hats you're actually pitching up as the second half goes. Either or. I liked the anticipation it built, and then it drops off. I think that's really cool. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. Not much to change on it, honestly. I mean, plus it's been out a day, and you have 117 plays on it, and you're doing pretty well with it. And this is a totally off-topic note, but I really like if you designed this whole thumbnail here. I really like what you do with this G behind the mountain. I think that's cool. I'm really appreciative of nice art here because I went to graphic design school for a year and a half, but I did it in high school for 4 years. So I have a really big, a lot of the time songs, this, like I'm pointing at my screen like you can see me. This, whatever happens here also ties in with this. So a lot of the times I'm not even looking over here, I'm looking right here because I feel the mood here and it just helps. So good work on this if you did this. Anyway, moving on. Head over to Facebook, share the stream for a chance to win Future House HELION. I didn't say that, but it might work for you. Honestly, you might need to do it because Future House is the genre that you put in here. So I'm assuming. All right, let's see. Honestly, I might make your drums a bit louder. And it's a work in progress, so I can't really harsh you too much on any other element inside there because I'm assuming it's not mixed. But when you go back, if one thing you can take from this live stream is to make the drums a little bit louder. Hey, what's up, Futrick? I just saw your name pop up. You skipped one, Nick. I think it's Harsh Shama. I don't think I did. I think he's next. He's right here. It was DJ Naya and then Harsh. But anyway, Naya. Only thing I would do so far, if you can take anything from the stream, is to go back and make your drums a tad bit more beefy. Other than that, I don't have anything else to give you. Maybe some low end too, and some chords that push behind that lead. Just a suggestion, since it is a work in progress. I'm assuming it's not close to being done yet. Based on what you gave me, not like sound quality wise, but like the quantity. You go back and add some chord to stack with that, that'll pulse with that, or that'll be a backing for that, and some more low end. But I do have a deficiency in my headphones where I can't hear low end for some reason when I have this audio rig set up, so that's fun. Let's go over here and do that. It's not even. But head over to Facebook, share the live stream for a chance to win Future House HELION. That's a mouthful. Future House HELION. House. Okay, the Hound. Let's go. Sounds like it changed into trap. Melody isn't something famous. Yeah, it does sound a bit familiar. Is it me or does it sound familiar? I mean, that is a very common... You can't... I mean, I guess technically you can't say it's taken because that's a really... Going up and then going back down again and stutter noting it. That's a very common... Excuse me, I didn't want to mute the mic. That's a very common... MIDI pattern, so I really don't think it's. I don't know, but it changed the trap here, or tempo changed. Something happened here. So the only thing I have right now, harsh for you to fix, is your drums overall. Like right now, that kick, the trap kick, I guess you have in here, is clipping a little bit and distorting. So I'm assuming it's the distortion or compression you put on it in the post mixing of the actual sample. So I would just turn some knobs down, or turn the gain down, or volume, or something. Or mix it a little bit differently. Your drums overall need to be mixed a little bit differently. I think it's just they're too low, and if they were more had a bit more of an impact and a lot more sidechaining was happening, which I hear you're sidechaining, so I'm not gonna. So far, I haven't said much about sidechaining. You guys should be proud because I haven't said much about sidechaining in the 24 minutes I've been doing this stream. So sidechaining was good. It's just I feel like the kick isn't living up to the rest of the track's hype. So I feel like if you just beef that kick up or beef your drums up in general, the track would be a whole lot more perfectly overwhelming, you know. So I feel like just beef it up a little bit, not a little bit, a lot of it, and then it'll. I'm gonna listen to the second half though. We're just seeing if you change anything up. Another thing, there's an offbeat pluck bass that you have that kind of sounds like a snail bass a little bit in the background. I would turn the mix that down a little bit. I always say turn the volume down. That's not the correct way to say that. Mix it down a little bit because I feel like it's too prominent and it's too centered and it's too not compressed and too not like fix it, is all I'm saying. Just go back and take a look at it again if you can. This has been out since November 22nd, so I'm assuming you cannot. But next time, pay attention to that. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So basically just go back and fix your kick, mix it a little bit better. Put some limiting on it. I saw someone put that in the chat. Yeah, you're right. You're supposed to basically limit almost practically everything. Just I understand people abuse the crap out of it, limiting, but it's a helpful thing. It helps keep your song not clipping. So, but that doesn't mean that technically you can. Doesn't mean that you can over distort a sample and then put a limiter on it and it's gonna be fine. It's still gonna sound like poo poo. So you need to go back and fix the distortion that's happening on the kick anyway. And then yeah, limit either your master or limit the instruments individually. Either or. I kind of do both, but and then maybe change up the second drop a little bit more, like add some sort of other synth or change the octave. Just go into your MIDI for the second half and bring the octave up one. I think that'd be super cool to hear, or layer that so it's like a weird, you know, transient sound. I think that'd be super dope. Just future ideas. But thank you for submitting the track. Arca's turn. Head over to Facebook, share the stream for, a chance to win Future House HELION at the end of the stream today. If Facebook's stream would let me pull up the shares, that would be sick at the end of the stream, because that's going to be annoying. The vocal is Hindi, by the way. Okay.
उदासी है ये बारिशें भी प्यासी है दिन मेरे बुझे बुझे ना रोशनी जरा सी है हंसी में भी उदासी है क्यों बारिशें भी प्यासी है दिन मेरे बुझे बुझे ना रोशनी आने से उदा क्यों
All right, Arca. So, only a couple of things. I do dig the low end mixing on the kick, but I feel like it should still be a little bit more punchy. So maybe fix some of the mid ends and maybe the mids, and maybe put some more saturation and stuff on it to get a little bit more volume, a little bit more in your face. And that vox, the vocal chop shouldn't be that loud. And that lead should be also a little lower and mix as well. The snare should be a little bit more prominent, so maybe some side chaining. There's the first one for the day. Some side chaining, a little bit, if there is any. I'm kind of hearing a little bit, but maybe a little bit more, just so we can hear that snare. It's a nice snare. I mean, if you just pull it out a little bit more, it'll sound even more. That's a big thing. Like, drums are a big thing because they really determine the quality. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the drums are mixed really well, there could be something that's totally wrong in a track and it doesn't matter because the drums are the things you're gonna hear. So the kick is mixed nice. Just make it a little bit more punchy, make it a little bit more loud in volume, and make sure that snare is brought up a little bit just so we can hear it prominent. And I like what you did with this last part here. A nice low end mixing on those chords as well, pulses with it. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people think it's okay just to hold a sub note down and have chords pulse. It's not. It's a little bit more impact. It gives a little bit more impact, a lot more body if you pulse the sub with the actual chords. So I dig that. So really, So really just mix the kicks punchiness up a little bit, mix the snare a little bit better so it's pulled up through the mix, so maybe a little bit more side chaining or a little bit more saturation to it. Mix down the vocal chops, mix down the lead, and maybe a little bit more reverb and delay on that lead, maybe more delay or so it mutes it out also a little bit and you hear less transient poking. Is it normal when I put my track on SoundCloud it becomes horrible? What do you mean? I think I know what you're talking about. Believe it or not, CDs, not vinyl records, but CDs have a better sound quality. Arca, thank you for submitting the track, buddy. Head over to Facebook, share the stream for a chance to win Future House HELION, and just kind of focus on what I said. But some reverb on the vocal chops too. Yeah, CDs hold a lot more, have a lot better sound quality than digital uploading, because what you're doing when you're digitally uploading is on a CD you can burn exactly the sample rate. Like say instead of rendering a song out and exporting it and then putting it on SoundCloud or putting it on Beatport or YouTube, we just took it from Ableton or FL Studio and burned it to a CD. So whatever sample rate or quality it sounds like in the DAW is on that CD because it's a burn. It basically just takes the sample information. Now granted, you can only put a certain amount on a CD, just like you can only put a couple of hours on SoundCloud if you don't pay for it, which I don't pay for it because really I don't make enough music to be able to. So there's no point at this point. But if you could honestly, if you have your samples rendered at 512 samples, a sample rate of 512, which is what I have mine at in Ableton, and you literally took that quality, like, oh, this sounds so good in my DAW, but it sounds like crap when I render it, it's probably because you're getting the exact sound of the plugins, and what exporting and rendering does is it compresses everything together. So imagine taking the quality that's inside the DAW and putting it on a CD. Just imagine if we still used CDs more than digital downloads. Could you imagine how much better things would sound? Like I listen to in my car, I listen to stuff I've uploaded on SoundCloud. Now, auxiliary, either or, if you have a good auxiliary cord in your vehicle or on your speakers, it doesn't matter. If it's crappy, it's going to suck no matter what. But if you have a CD and a good auxiliary cord, it's going to sound even better. So, I mean, that's just a rant that I had. I'm sorry. But I know what you mean by uploading it on SoundCloud. It sounds like crap. I showed a mix last stream that I am working on. That's a private link on my SoundCloud. And it doesn't sound very good at all on a SoundCloud, nearly as good as it does sound in my DAW. And it's frustrating. And I don't know how to fix it. It's just mastering and rendering, I guess, just is what it comes down to. It's just got to figure that out. Lad, no, not entirely. I mean, because sometimes if you bump the sample rate up too high in your DAW and your computer can't handle it, it'll crash. But if you dump it too low, it'll change the quality. So if you render a track at 41,000, I think it's 44,000 hertz, I guess, or whatever it's called. I forget. I think it's hertz. I think it's what it is. I can't remember. It's hertz. 44,000 is the standard, or just 44 Hz, or something like that. I cannot remember. But rendering at that is the basic, and then rendering it at like 32 bits, or sample bits, or something like that, or 320 kbps, or something like that. There's a certain way to render something to make it sound a lot better. But sometimes, like, and I've even followed, like, I've gone to YouTube and I've looked up tutorials and I've done exactly that, but it doesn't, I don't know what, it also depends on how you mastered your track. So it's a plethora of your mix down in your track, your mastering overall on the track, and then how you render it to make it sound better. And then SoundCloud to keep it from being too high quality and to keep it from being too much storage on their cloud of songs. They compress it again. Like, you know how it says it's processing? A lot of times people think, oh, it's uploading. No, that whole blue bar means it's uploading. The processing means, hey, we're going to dumb down your quality a tad just so it doesn't take up too much space. You know what I'm saying? 48 kilohertz, that's what it is. 32 bits. I rendered mine at 24? Is that the one that's in between? There's 16, 24, 32? 16, 24, 32, and then there's 44,000 and 48,000 kilohertz, which is what I want to say truer. I really don't know. All right, so let me. I thought that said Sandra Bullock, not Sandra Bullet. I was about to like, you featured Sandra Bullock? Holy crap. And for those of you who don't know who that is, that's an actress. Just saying.
Voices whispering to excite when the worlds collide. Relate too much to the corpse bride. Leland is my real home. Walking with strangers is where I belong. All that we see is but a dream within a dream. I walk through.
Dude, was it you the last time that uploaded a song that sounded like this? If you're still here, I don't know who this is in the stream if you're actually talking to me in the stream. If it was you that came in the last time. You know what I mean? I remember someone came in and uploaded a song that sounded just like this. Not like exactly how this song sounds, but that 80s-esque. I don't know how you're doing this. Like I've tried several times to the dark wave is what it's called now, or synth pop or synthwave. But it basically is just 80s disco music brought to 2018. It's weird to say 2018 now, but I guess this is 2017. It's 13 days ago. But I don't know how people mix like this and make it sound like it's 80s and it's rendered. That's so cool though. I'm not even going to critique anything on it because I'm just satisfied with the way that it sounds. Only thing I could critique is to fix her vocals. They're a little pitchy. Maybe put some crap, Melodyne or pitcher or something on it or maybe a heavy reverb and delay honestly fixes a lot of the pitch problems too. 2017 just kind of rolls off the tongue. 2018 does not. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. So anyway, I think, yeah, just fix her vocals a little bit. I really don't want to say anything about it because you could send in a million of these 80s rendered sounding songs in 2017/18, and I'm going to like them because it's cool to hear people being able to do this still. So I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Alterity, if you're here. Kudos on the whole mixing. Truler. All right. Grandma riding a scooter, or what is she riding? A moped. Notepad. All right, let's listen. I mean, I was kind of nervous about that little gap there, but I guess it was tastefully done. Only thing I would change so far is lowering the pads and the chords. They sound really cool, but maybe multi-band compress them a little bit more and add some width to them a little bit. and it'll sound so cool to be an ambient in the background. And I really like that pluck you have going on. That's super dope. I like that a lot. I heard you want to make a 2-hour live stream because it's the new year. I can't. After this, I have to go get medicine so I can stop coughing. And I want you guys to know, I'm going to check the weather here right now. Where I live, it's stupid cold. So I don't even want to leave the house. It's retarded. Anyway, so the ARP I love a lot. Chords could be lowered a little bit. Kick and the snare could be a little bit more punchy because the way it just sounds like it should be a little more punchy, and then a little bit more side chaining. It's 2. Let's see what it feels like -6 degrees Fahrenheit. In America, we have Fahrenheit. I don't know where all you guys are. That's what you guys, I'm assuming. A lot of people use Celsius, but it's -6 degrees Fahrenheit here. No, not Medicine, the artist. -6. I'm tired of this weather, dude. It's been like this for God knows how long. A month, 2 months maybe, where you can't even go outside and start your car. It's so cold outside. It's stupid. Anyway, so the art. The drums could be mixed a little bit more. Maybe not. Maybe just add some side shading and see how that works for you. But I honestly, this whole introduction, I don't mind it. I thought it was gonna be obnoxious, but it's not because it kind of blends together. That could be lower too. That lead could be a little lower as well. Other than that, man, I kind of dig this a lot. For being honest, I don't know what it is. Let me see what this gap is. That transition was a little bit more muddy than the other one, but either or, dude. That's cold? Yes. You should go to Norway. Then you've been in the heckling winter wonderland. It's so cold. Yeah, I know. I can imagine. I've never been anywhere. Like, I've been to Spain, but I went to Spain in dead summer, and Spain in dead summer is not like where I live in dead summer. Like where I live in, like, here's what's stupid though. Last year at this exact same time, you want to know what temperature it was? It was 56 degrees outside. 56 degrees. The year before that, it was -11, probably, something like that. Now it's -6. Now what? Next year's gonna be like 80, and then when we get our summers, it gets to like 105 degrees. Like the place I live is stupid. I hate it. I want to move. Want to get out. Seb, you're up next, bud. That's Pennywise. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that lives, that was from Sweden. He is the most standard Swedish name I've ever heard in my entire life. His name was Sven, and he moved back to Sweden because he thought it was too hot here, and it was winter, and it was -2, and he moved back to Sweden, like after we graduated high school because he thought it was too hot. I'm like, you're crazy, dude. I got 2 sweatshirts on, a jacket, pair of pants, 2 pairs of socks, and some boots, and you're over here hot? Come on. I kid you not, his name was Sven. I don't know his last name. It was Shell something, but it was Khell something. I don't know what the last part of it was. It was long. Also, that's what he told me too. He said it's Norwegian. Okay, Clune. I'm assuming it's clown, but Clune. Boy, please just go to Norway. I'll teach you to ski like a Norwegian. You know, honestly, I used to snowboard when I was younger. I know skiing's a whole different ball game. People always get, at least here, people always get so mad if you somewhat, even kinda, compared snowboarding to skiing. Even if you say, hey, they both take place on snow, they're like, no, it's different. I'm like, I know it's different. I've seen it, but I'm not, like, skiing freaks me out because I feel like I'm gonna like fall down, land on my feet, and it's just gonna spread. I'm not. All right. Anyway, so Clune. I would fix your kick to make it a little more punchier transients because I feel like it's too much of a low end sub type of. It's like a I don't know how to explain it, what kind of kick it is, but it just has a lot of low end more than it has a lot of mids and a transient to punch with. So go download like one of our. Like our dubstep pack, I don't know if I forget if it has any presets in it though, or no. Like guys, what? I'm trying to think of the Christmas pack we just put out. Like literally on Christmas, it was free. It has really good presets. Honestly, if you make dubstep, I would go grab it anyway because there's some really good dubstep presets in there, melodic dubstep and actual dubstep presets. I dig it a lot. Oh, there's construction kits, so there are some samples in there, and I know there's kicks in there. I think I've used one, and there's some really punchy transient kicks. Those are really good for punching through all the basses you have. Who's this? Oh. So a lot of the things, too, that I notice with a lot of dubstep producers that are somewhat new-ish producers is they don't really follow, and I had this problem, too, so I'm not harshing on you about it at all, because I really, and I still do. You ever listen to a dubstep track by, like, someone like Nasco or Timonite or, you know, I guess Zomboy and I guess Getter. I'm talking about people who actually, like, really think of the rhythm that they make their drops in, or, like, Omar Varela, which I usually don't like dubstep like that, but I really like his. I don't know what it is. Who else is there? Panda Eyes. How they have like a vibe in their basses, and they make the basses have like a melody to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to explain. Like Panda Eyes' this track Serotonin that he did like a couple of months ago. A lot of producers that I see nowadays have a problem with not being able to create a melody or a rhythm with basses that kind of just make a bunch of MIDI with a bunch of LFO pulsing stuff. I'm not saying that you did that, but there is a sign of it, meaning like, honestly, nowadays how dubstep is produced is there's only like 3 basses. And I didn't know this until I looked at a bunch of project files or watched a bunch of YouTube videos, people only using like 3 or 4 basses throughout the entire track. And then that's it. I'm like, and they're just like changing the preset as they go. So one thing I would do, like the sound design is dope, like that's cool sound, but I feel like they need to be more multi-band compressed, just to bring out a lot of the separate elements inside the actual bass itself. That's a big step when it comes to mixing dubstep basses, is making sure they're compressed, because it brings out a lot of the elements that are hidden inside the actual preset itself. And some side chaining too would do you well. And I think I know what you mean by the quality. I think what SoundCloud does is it lowers your sub. Like I feel like it takes away a lot of the low part of the song. So I feel like producers like Spaghetti, who have a super aggressive, and I don't know if it's like Clune, if you paid for if you're the person who was talking about this, I think you were. If you paid for like I don't know if this is how it works, like SoundCloud Go and SoundCloud Pro, and if you paid for those memberships, if you get a better sounding upload. I don't really know. I've never really tested that. I'm not going to, but I'm just saying. I don't know. So I think what happens is since you're already compressing it when you export it, you may need to export at a higher quality, render at a higher quality, because once you put it on SoundCloud, they're going to compress it down to what you rendered it as. So if you rendered it at 16 and 44,000 kilohertz, you might need to render it at 24 bits and then 48,000 because it's gonna compress. Like if you did it, if you rendered it at normal, this is gonna compress it down and make it sound even more compressed and flattened, and that's not what you want, especially with electronic like heavy metal tracks and rock tracks. That's fine because they're already flattened. But for EDM, there's a lot of elements that happen, and you can't flatten them because you can't hear them. So I sometimes am a little bit more lenient on like stuff like sidechaining because that does get kicked out when you flatten something. So, but a lot of sidechaining and some multi-band compression and some drum work on this track will help bring it to life a little bit more. But thanks for submitting the track. Head over to, if you're interested in a future house pack, head over to Facebook and share the stream for a chance to win Future House HELION in 8 minutes. Let's do some trackies. Okay. Another thing I noticed that he did right here is that he normalized. You also have to remember when you're rendering something out in your DAW, if you're able to normalize it, because I know you are on Ableton, you literally hit a button that says normalize and it bumps it up. It doesn't lower your quality. It just makes everything hit at the decibels they're supposed to without clipping. So make sure you normalize your projects when you render them out. Helps with volume. So really happy with your drums. They poke through. The mix does sound a little bit muddy. Maybe some multi-band compression on it a little bit might help a little bit. It's just, I feel like some sort of multi-band separation for the bands in the track will bring it a lot more body. Yeah, super happy with the drums. Since this is a preview, I would just work on some overall mastering, so maybe some multi-band or some sort of compressor that'll let you separate all the bands. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say multi-band compression. That's all I'm trying to say. For your mastering channel, put some multi-band compression, not too much, so it's not overdone. Just enough to be able to separate the bands so it's not muddy. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah, let me see what you're talking about. Yeah, I guess it does kind of sound like a bass. The brass sound kind of sounds like a bass a little bit, so maybe go through and make sure that some of the low end on that and some of the grittiness on it is lowered. Please check out Statement Anime Fighter on SoundCloud. I got you, man. Just holla at me. Okay. All right, cool. Let me move on. Oh, okay. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I got for you, man. Just I like your drums a lot. I'm glad that you mixed those really well. Bring it back whenever it's finished, and we'll take a full look at it. But head over to Facebook and share the stream for a chance to win. My cat is scratching at my door. She's not happy with me. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, head over to Facebook, share the stream for a chance to win Future House HELION. Dude, my coughs hurt at this point. Please don't destroy my face. Okay, cool. I was talking, my mic was muted. So things I would fix so far. Yes, it's gonna be 1 hour stream. I saw that in the comment. There's some clipping I noticed. I don't know if it's on your bass or if it's on your overall mastering channel. I don't know what it is. But fix that. So like limit some stuff. Let's see. Yeah, like your effects in the background, like the effects, like the audience in the background, or the risers and the downshifters, white noise, all that stuff needs to be turned down a little bit. I usually have mine, which is stupid low. I think it's like minus 12 dB is what I put mine at. I don't know why, and I just adjust it. Like I just adjust every individual sample at like it flat lines at minus 12, and then I just adjust it if I have to with the automation. Anyway, so I would crank down the mastering a little bit, limit it, make sure it's not clipping, and make sure all the other elements inside the actual project aren't clipping as well. Also put limiters on those as well, just to double check. It's a double checking thing. Sound design overall, if it was you, was good for the basses and everything like that. Arrangement can use a little bit more work. I can't really tell you how to arrange it because I'm not very good at arranging dubstep, but it does have a bit of a vibe to it, so I guess that's good. It has a bit of a pulse and vibe to it. So, but the effects in the background, some side chaining on it, some fixing the distortion and the clipping, and then finish it and bring it back, and we'll see what happens. Statement: I do, but it's 3 o'clock and I only stream for 1 hour, so now that means that you guys get to watch me close Discord and clip it. But yeah, JP, go ahead and go over to Facebook now and share the stream for a chance to win Future House HELION if you're interested. If you're not, then don't. But if you like me, then you will. All right. All right, so let's see if we can get Facebook to not hate me. How was your guys' New Year's? What'd you all do? Even though I'm not gonna be able to read all of it, but tell me anyway, just while the time, so I can find all the shares. I personally worked on some stuff for WA and played some PUBG because I've never played the game before in my life, not on PC, on Xbox One, because I don't have a PC, I have a Mac and I can't. But I played it I started playing it at about 10 o'clock last night, and I played it till about 3 a.m. So that just shows you. And I'm a god at it, so, I mean, I'm not at all. I mean, I did do duos, and we did make top 5 every time, but Nick, I'm turning it up, replying back on Discord, but for me, I worked until 2 a.m. Nice one, Nick. Dog. 1v1 me? Okay. Oh my god, pick a person, please. Alright, it's picking. Let's play PUBG together sometime. I want to get, eventually, I'm planning on buying myself a hefty PC so I can just, you know. I'm planning on, so outside of WA, I have a job where I'm a salesman. So I work a lot there, and I want to work as much as I possibly can for WA. But I want an alternative way, like I get very bored sitting at home by myself, so I always want to be creating something. So whether it's music or whether it's playing games or whether it's streaming or something, I planned on, like, in the future-ish time frame, when I'm able to get this computer and able to stream, I wanted to divide my days up in half, like work on WA, get that stuff out of the way first, and then whatever time I have off during the day, maybe at night, I'll be streaming gaming and stuff like that, just because I've always loved doing that. I did that when I was younger in high school and stuff like that, but I was very, very bad, and I'm not the best at games in any way, shape, or form. I'm not at all. But I think it's just fun to hang out with people and do that. So. Okay, let's see. Next gaming stream, right? Hosted by WA. No, that probably won't happen. It'll probably just be on Twitch then. Eventually. All right. The winner is. For real? It lagged me out. You're a douche. Okay, so let's. Okay, there we go. Load. Load, please. So the winner is, I don't know how to say your name, so I'm going to post it in the chat because I think it's Bastion. Let me post it, please. It's this name. Oh my god, let me erase, fam. It's that name. It's that one. It's that one right there. It's that one. If you guys can see it, it's lagging like crazy, but it's going. So yeah. Oh, it's Truler, or Troller, or Truler. But yeah, congratulations. Roman will be sending you the pack here in several hours. I don't know exactly when he's going to be available to, but expect it. You'll get a direct link to a download. You click it, and hit download. It'll start downloading to you directly. So, congratulations. Thank you for sharing the stream. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for being here as well. I'm going to go get some medicine and go out in this, literally step outside, get frozen weather. It's to the point now where when it snowed, the snow is now ice. It's no longer snow anymore. It's just like you go to step on the grass and you slip. That's how cold it is. So, I'm going to go try to not cough anymore. And I will see you guys next Sunday. Hopefully, if everything... I should not be sick next week. So, hopefully everything will be back to somewhat normal next week on the stream schedule. But I will see you guys next week. Have a good rest of your day. And night, I guess, and evening. And see ya.